What do you think?
It's nice.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's subtle. It's not strong.
Yeah. Tea helped me quit smoking.
Good.
Cigarettes.
You don't smoke at all anymore?
No more cigarettes.
Good.
And I got off the vape as well.
Really?
A year ago, yeah.
When?
About a year ago. Yeah.
I'm trying to recall if I've seen you vape around me within the last year. I guess you're right.
No.
I was doubting you at first. I'm just kidding.
What is with that? Everybody automatically doubts everyone.
I'm just kidding.
I must prove myself to everyone. No need to prove myself.
But that's good. Are you still drinking though?
Drinking what?
Wine.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you're completely sober.
I mean, I smoke pot. I mean, if you want to consider that sober or not sober,
I don't
depending on the viewpoint, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So yeah, I smoke pot. Yeah.
Who doesn't? Well, before we get into it, because we've been talking a lot earlier, I might as well introduce everybody.
Hi, everyone. Yeah.
Today on the show, we have, you have so many hats that you wear. You are a photographer.
Oh, yes.
Haunted house producer.
Co-producer.
Yeah. Actor.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? You've done music.
Mm-hmm. That was actually the first thing I got into in production.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
It was I saw that, it was like 98. A friend of mine had the producer program of Acid Pro, and he just started putting tracks together, and that just drew me in. And from there, I just kind of really got into music composition and kind of just focused on that for a while, but then I just lost it when I got into computers. And I had to take on that whole identity of working 9 to 5 and then being way too tired to really do anything else when I got done.
Yeah.
And all my creativity just kind of sucked out of me for a while.
But now you're back.
Yeah.
Sean Craig, everyone.
Thank you. That's nice.
Also known as Sheetrock.
Yes.
Because that is your haunt alias.
I guess, it's my nickname.
Because you worked at House of Torment.
I did.
I know you were a zombie, but did you produce?
No,
them too, or
I
no?
was. First 2 years, I was a zone manager, and that's just they gave me a specific zone that I made sure that.
Auto zone.
No. Yeah, but you get a specific zone in the haunt that you watch over and make sure it's running efficiently, and after that, I kind of moved up to. That kind of fell upon me to move up to actually running the show. But that was just kind of it was thrown at me. The position opened up in the moment, and I was the guy that it fell upon. So I'm grateful for it. Yeah.
How many seasons or how many years did you do?
I worked there for four seasons. Yeah.
That's long.
I mean,
a lot.
A lot happens in those
Yeah.
short spurts of time that you work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how long does it take to prep?
Prep for what?
The haunted house, the haunts.
To build the thing?
Yeah, to prepare for each year.
Well, I mean, once you've already got a built product,
that's true.
You only have to change a certain amount of it every year. This year, we're actually just building the entire thing from scratch, and so that takes a bit longer. And it's a labor of love. It's not like we're out there and it's grueling and we're not wanting to be there. We want to be there doing it. We're excited. It's so awesome, actually. Yeah.
That's awesome because it's you and Charles and Dead 13.
That is the name we're going with this year. Yeah.
Are you guys set to be ready this year or next year?
The plan is to be open this October.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How far along are you?
We are along. I don't want to give away our secrets.
50%.
Why must you know
55.
this? Why must you know this?
56. I'm just kidding.
No, we can't give that secret away.
Well, I'm excited, and this is going to be on Texas Music Ranch.
Yes, at the
grounds.
Texas Music Ranch.
Cool. I still have yet to go there. I've heard nothing but good things.
Didn't you do a music video there? Or were
No,
you supposed
so
to?
that day that I was supposed to go with Jose and Katie, initially it was a Saturday, which is my day off, but then Jose had to change it to Sunday, and I work Sundays.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's all good. I have plans to go there another time.
It's a really nice property, and it's only going to get better.
Because it's 100 acres?
I really don't know. I know I've walked a lot of it, and it goes on a while, but I didn't take in the amount of space it actually is.
Yeah.
So.
How big will the haunted house be?
Big enough. It's definitely not small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say it's like one of the houses for like, 'cause you know how House of Torment has 3 different ones, so is it like the
so
size
we
of
only
one?
have 1 attraction this year, but we're not going to try to aim for 2 our first year,
right?
But the floor plan, I don't know, I'd say about a good 5 acres.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't need to be huge because you can run people around in the same amount of space over and over just by the way you plan it. So it's big enough. It'll keep you in a good 25-30 minutes.
How many actors do you plan on?
As many as want to apply and work with us. We will take on the ones who really have the heart for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you still keep in touch with people from the haunt.
Oh, they're family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
I am too.
Like the opening night, are you going to be just like overseeing anything, or do you plan on acting a bit?
Well, I have to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And we all going to have to wear many different hats just to pull this off.
Right.
We've done it before. Our first season was 2014, which we did it in Charles's backyard. But we did a professional haunt in a backyard, and we attracted over 2,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I was gonna say, what was the theme of it? Did you have?
So, that was just kind of a hodgepodge type of thing. But we've always had to kind of like a Hills Have Eyes kind of theme, or like a cannibalistic.
Yeah.
type of thing, which is what we're more going to this year, is the cannibalism type of motif. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
Nice. And a lot of your stuff, well, like all of it is really like things that you found, donations.
We are definitely recycled.
Yeah.
We're about 85-90% recycled at this point.
That's dope.
We spend money mostly on the screws and hinges and just like things to kind of fasten what we find together.
Right.
But I kind of like look at it. If anybody who's ever seen the Lego movie and they see the master builders, my business partner is a master builder. He can kind of just like see a whole bunch of scraps and just see how to fit that together is something just amazing. And that is what is happening. And awesome. I get to learn a lot by just being around it. And I keep saying and a lot. Now I become self-aware.
Shout out to Charles, by the way.
Yes, Charles T. Walker. Look him up on Facebook. His work is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super sweet.
Very much. Yeah.
His tent was the one that was next to me and John's at Flipside that one year. Nice. So you're working on that mostly.
Yes.
Photography is kind of on the waiting list of things to do. The
beautiful thing about a haunted house is it incorporates everything that I am.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to have some photo shoots?
Of course.
On set? Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's the beauty. That's okay. That's one of the things that's really exciting me about this, is because I get to take what I was doing in a closed environment in my studio garage, and do it on a much bigger scale. And instead of taking the set down to build another one later, I just build it next to that, and then keep building next to that, and then we're gonna have a really quite a lot of an assortment of sets to shoot from.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's exciting. And every year we get to change a huge amount of that and become something different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Why didn't I think of that?
What?
Like just having a bunch of my photo shoots at the haunted house.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at it as like I'm putting photo shoots aside. I'm working on building a set right now for a massive photo shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could do like little videos here and there.
So this is just like an upgrade, a step up. Now I
Yeah.
get to incorporate everything that I've done on a much smaller scale, on a much bigger scale.
Cool. And you have do you have the commercial out yet?
It is not released yet.
Oh, okay.
No.
But watch out for that.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be out at some point.
On like Facebook and YouTube or
everything we can put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I like your necklace.
Thank you.
What kind of rock is that?
This is a citrine. It's a manifestation stone.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think you've told me about that.
Yeah, it's actually one of the most precious gifts I've ever been given. And the person who had the other one, what ended up happening is like I had one and this other person had one, and they matched. They pretty much fit together, and so we switched. And so now I have this one and she has mine. And yeah, it's come in really handy. I use it for everything I'm trying to manifest.
Well, does it help with other people around you?
Well, so basically it's all on belief.
Yeah.
I have belief in it. And belief is power. And what I believe in, I can manifest. So, yeah, it's a token that lets me engage my own power.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've given this permission. It's a permission slip.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to look at it.
But yeah, I actually was at Freezer Burn this year, which is a burn here in Texas, and I lost it. It was on my necklace, and my friend Pop Rocks ended up giving me, I think, around 2 grams of mushrooms, and we were pretty deep in the burn, and I was quite deep into the trip when I looked down and noticed it was gone. And my friend Jess, she's extremely sweet. She immediately dropped everything she was doing to start looking for this stone. And she loves like stones and doing like jewelry wrappings.
Mm-hmm.
It's just 'cause she's got a huge assortment of extremely beautiful just art that she does. Hold on a second. I have to call attention to the fact that I am getting over the fact that I'm becoming self-aware that I am being interviewed.
So. Oh, we don't have to talk about it.
Oh, no, it's fine. So back to the pendant. Yeah, it disappeared, and my heart sank because this thing means something to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things that in the moment I knew I had to get over because I was deep into this burn. There's no way I was going to be able to find it just by looking for it. And I cried when losing this thing because it means something to me. I didn't realize how much it meant to me until I lost it.
You said it was the first day of the burn?
No, it was probably like 3 days into it.
Oh, okay.
But I stay longer.
How long do you usually stay?
Somewhere around like 5 to 6 days.
Oh, okay. So like half your time there.
So it was 3 days into it. I ended up losing it, which I had to get to come to the point of accepting it, because I'm in an extremely beautiful place and there's amazing people around me, and so much awesome things are happening, and I can't let this ruin my time. But I had to give myself time of actually grieving for it to be lost, and I definitely cried over it. The amazing thing was that the day that the burn was over, and we were getting up, or I was getting up to start packing up, the girl in the tent right next to me overheard me talking to one of the leads of our camp about how I wasn't able to find it at Lost and Found. And she asked, like, well, what was it that I lost? And I started explaining that I lost a stone. It was a piece of citrine. And before I could actually explain what it was or what it looked like, she pulled it out of her bag. And she was like, this? And
Whoa.
Yeah, that humbled me. That's why another reason why I'm a bit nervous talking about it, because it's actually, this has a lot of emotion, like, all about it. That act right there actually gave it more power for me. It has more meaning. There's more emotion behind it, which directed can do a lot.
Yeah.
So this thing is very powerful for me.
So we just charged it a little bit.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about it, she told me. She told me that she found it next to our camp, but it wasn't in our camp, and it was like basically in a place where there's thousands of people walking around.
Was it just like buried deep in mud or something?
She was walking. She said she found it next to the porta potties.
Oh.
But yeah, she was walking next to it, and something told her to look down, and she found the stone. And she told me that while she had the stone on her, she was making decisions that she had never made before and going places that she'd never done before, and she's never gone before, or making decisions at a burn that she wouldn't have made before, and having new adventures. And so it had its own adventure without me.
Wow.
And then it came back. So yeah, it's got so much more meaning to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever lose it again. Do you even remember?
It's mine. It is. It's going to come back to me if I lose it. And like, it's already proven that. Yeah.
Do you remember being by the porta potties that night?
I mean, you used the porta potties.
No. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it was like, I was just curious if it got kicked around or like in the hands of someone else.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Tell me, Magic Rock. I'm just kidding.
It is a magic rock. It definitely is.
All right, well, not to veer off topic with your work, but okay, so photography.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share that story because of when you first showed me. Was it your grandpa?
What about my grandpa?
Oh, he was a photographer.
Yes.
And like just the uncanniness of like how similar your styles are, and you didn't even know he was a photographer.
Well, I knew he was a photographer.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I didn't really know the scale of photography.
Yeah.
He was in. My father and I didn't really talk very much after 18, which that happens sometimes, and it's fine. But yeah, my grandfather, I would say he definitely has a hand in my guidance for this. Yeah, I don't know how I became the way I am with this. I don't know how I did all this other than just following my inspiration.
Yeah, because I mean,
it was yeah, something's guiding me.
Yeah,
definitely.
And he did model photography and shot like a celebrity, right?
Mm-hmm. He shot a few celebrities, but yeah, I don't really know too much about him other than just like the scrapbook that I got from my father, and like a few things that he said. So
it says a lot, though.
Yeah. I would say the inspiration comes from him. Yeah. And knowing that he could do it, like, helped me, like, just skyrocket through it. Being able to be nurturing to myself through it helped a lot as well. As if basically he was guiding me through it or there with me. Yeah. Yeah. So
I thought it was just crazy how similar your guys' work looked, and his was back in like the 60s or something?
50s and 60s.
50s, 60s.
Yeah, and he took the photos, and his wife, my grandmother, was his retoucher.
That's so cute.
So, which meant something different back then, because like they actually physically worked on the photos.
Yeah.
So she was a painter, and so what she would do is actually paint his photos into a painting, and they would look like amazing oil paintings.
Whoa.
And like I'd never understood like how she was that precise with her paintings. It's because she was doing it. She was basically doing what we do with filters today, but
Yeah.
with the paintbrush.
Like frequency separation.
Yes, pretty much, but with a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Like, I'm humbled by that. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I do it
Yeah.
on Photoshop and, you know, other programs.
Right.
It takes skill, yeah, but
Mhm.
that took skill.
Mhm.
That took a lot of focus. That took a lot of really love of doing it
Right.
and inspiration following.
Because what year did you start shooting?
The tail end of 2010.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like right after House of Torment, my first season.
Mm.
I took the money from that and bought my first camera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know we've worked on a few videos. When did you do video? When did you start video work?
2015.
Oh, okay. So, wow, not that long ago.
Yeah, it was actually a necessity for a GoFundMe video that we were going to do for our 2015 season of The Haunt that didn't pan out.
Oh, was that the one that I think it's when I first met Charles, and I saw the
Yeah.
like Metal Gear. Or
Yeah, you're actually probably the second video I try to tackle. Yeah.
Ooh, I feel special.
Good. You should be.
Going over like projects we've worked together.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've acted in a few music videos.
Yes.
In Geo's actually.
Yes.
My second guest on this show.
Yeah, the first time I worked with him, I didn't realize I was going to be in a music video.
I didn't know either. I thought it was a photo shoot.
Yeah, so I show up and I'm like, all right, I'm here to be a model. And he's like, all right, come out that door and start like looking up here and start. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, I'll go do that too. All right, let's figure this out.
On top of that, it was fucking cold as shit and
Well, I had a
super
jacket.
windy.
That was good.
Oh yeah.
And my hair.
But you played no, you got played by the vampire. You were the victim. I was the vampire. Dude.
This is true. And it was the reaction in that video is real when you slam my head against the wall. Because you slammed my head against the wall. Yeah. So like if you watch that video, that reaction is completely real.
We only did it like 2 times.
But I'm used to getting my head slammed against the wall, so it's not that big of a deal.
Oh shit. And then we also acted. Oh yeah, you were the pervy photographer.
In a video. Yes. In a music video, I was playing
Not
a
in
character
real
of that. Correct. Yes.
That was so much fun.
That was I actually really liked that video a lot. The music was really good too.
It was.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nahar
Geo.
Media and Geo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
And I actually met Jim on that video, which he was the
McKay.
guy.
Jim
Yeah.
McKay.
He was the guy who did the mermaid video that came out in I guess 2017
mermaid video?
with Pinky Ray. My mermaid video.
Your mermaid video?
Really?
I think I remember. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's like, I thought I showed you this. I thought you were all like, wow, that was cool.
I had to, because I remember the photo shoot, so I just had to
Yeah.
change channels.
Okay. I was confused by you.
I know, right? It's so crazy how we're connected, and like it's just a wonderful way of networking with people.
That is a beautiful thing about this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely. we can do a lot with that understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like building an art family for me.
Well, I would definitely look at this, the internet as like a central nervous system.
Mm.
And it sends information back and forth, and we are the senders of that information, and we put all our information up on it. Yeah, we're building something out of it, definitely. I don't know if it's going to become something else. Who knows?
Robots.
Definitely robots. We're already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie last night. The directing was really dope, actually. I think it was made in Australia, but it's called Upgrade. It came out in 2018.
Okay.
I'm going to have to show you a video of it just because it's hard to describe it. But, yeah, it's really unique, the camera work.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, my mind just trailed off to...
Yeah, that's been happening.
Oh, yeah,
I've been talking, and, like, I'll be saying something, and then my mind's like, well, what about this, and what about that? And I'm like, wait, no, that's not where I'm here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Upgrade was really cool. Not only the direction of it, but the concept, because it takes place in the future. And there's robots everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to watch it. I don't want to spoil it, but
Cool.
that's what led me to thinking about robots.
Is this a show that you would suggest that I watch?
It's a movie. Yeah, I
Okay.
suggest it. I stream it.
Cool.
So.
Cool.
And I'm really picky about movies I watch these days.
I am, well, I'd say I'm picky about the amount of movies I watch. Not necessarily like, I don't like being distracted.
Yeah.
And, I love movies. I like producing videos for people to watch, but I think I've just hit that end of it where I want to make them now.
Yeah.
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 And so like whenever I watch them, it's awesome, but I end up getting sucked in, and I'll just start binge watching stuff.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I can only binge watch like 30-minute animations like Rick and Morty or, Bob's Burgers. I can't do like Game of Thrones or anything.
Yeah.
That's too much
I
for
haven't done
me.
Game of Thrones either. I've seen probably about 5 or 6 episodes of Game of Thrones.
I fell asleep
Really?
both times I've tried to watch it.
The production values was always wonderful.
Yeah, I mean,
just
Starbucks cups.
I haven't seen that either. Like,
Water bottle.
I stopped
They got
watching
it
Game
all.
of Thrones a few years ago. Like it's like my ex watched it, and so she would continue to watch it, and I never got caught up. So I would just started getting confused.
Yeah.
And so like 5, 6 episodes into watching what she was watching, it just kind of faded off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely an investment. It takes too much time.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't have time for that right now.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not hating. I'm just one of the unpopular people that don't watch Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Yeah, they exist. Strange people. I guess I'm one of them.
But strange is good.
Strange is good. That's what makes us stand out
Absolutely.
in some ways. I don't think that made sense.
Huh. A bird goes what?
Exactly. I wonder, are y'all hearing me every time I take a gulp out of this?
I don't think so. Is that supposed to be burning?
No.
Okay.
I can.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Was it burning this whole time at all?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Burn, baby, burn. Let's go.
This is Palo Santo. I believe I pronounced that correctly. But it's a piece of wood from a tree in South America that once you burn it, it smells amazing.
How long can it burn for?
It just like any piece of wood, it'll burn for as long as it needs to burn, I guess. It usually kind of puts itself out after about 3 minutes. But yeah, it smells amazing. And once I quit smoking, the smell of this is very calming for me.
It is.
Yeah.
Did you go to Flipside this year?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I wanted to, but we've got way too much to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah, to prepare for the season.
Yeah. It smells nice. Hopefully it won't get too smoky in here.
It'll add a bit of drama to the video.
Well, there's an overlay here.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just gonna cut. That works.
There we go.
Oh, man.
So what about you?
What about me?
What's been going on with you? I'm gonna
Same
interview
old
new.
sick.
I'm gonna interview new.
New? You're gonna interview new?
Hi, new.
Interview new.
How
What
you
about
doing?
interview old?
I'm gonna interview you now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I haven't spoken
I'm
to
supposed
you
to be.
very much lately.
I'm supposed to be interviewing you though.
Okay.
So okay, we've got what? Okay, what have we covered? All right, so you started with music 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then Haunt was your next.
My next thing was computers.
Well,
Which-
that's boring stuff.
At first, it wasn't. At first,
Yeah.
it was networking with my friends and shooting them in the video games that we were playing and the music that was being created with me and my friend Dan and John and anybody who wanted to record with me. But once it became fixing other people's computers, I just didn't like it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as fun. I lost all love for it, and then it just became a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you like to build stuff still, like
Mhm.
computers and joysticks.
Yeah. I like video games. Old school video games, like the Atari, Nintendo, like 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, another thing, it comes down to like attention span and time.
Right.
I like stuff I can just play, real quick and then move on.
And it's just nostalgic too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Joust is probably my favorite arcade game.
Which is the one that we played?
I don't know.
We were
We've
flying.
played a few games.
Oh. There was one that stood out where
We
we
were
were like
flying?
flying. Yeah.
Was it like Balloon Fight
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah. Was it balloon flying?
But was it? Were you flying on a bird or?
I remember balloons.
Okay, it was Balloon Fight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I like that game.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm sure I lost though.
I don't remember. To be
See, shooting games are my jam. Like I love House of Dead, like
Mhm.
shooting zombies.
Yeah, I mean, shooting zombies is always fun. But yeah, I remember that game. I had a lot of fun on that
Zombie
one, too.
lives matter too.
In the sense of what?
It's a joke. Hashtag.
Oh, I'm getting confused now.
Clearly not very funny. Sorry.
No, not at all. No, I don't know. It went over my head because I'm a zombie. Because I mean, like, obviously,
You came to my Halloween party as a zombie.
yes, it did.
Is that like your typical character that you like to play? A zombie?
Yes, that would be the typical character I like to play. I have a lot of fun doing it, though. It's more of a, because I get to mess with people, and I usually have somebody holding me on a leash, and they get to hit me with a newspaper, like I'm a dog. Whenever I try to attack somebody.
You encourage them to hit you with a
Yeah.
newspaper? Have they ever gone overboard?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's not cool.
That's not bad.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you say don't do that to me no more. But but I want them to hit me hard. It looks real when they hit me on the back of the head really hard with a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want it to be to the point where I have a headache at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. I go to attack the people. They yank back on the leash and smack me with a newspaper, tell me I'm a bad zombie.
Wow. And you also wore knee pads too,
Mm-hmm.
that you would grind and spark everywhere.
I don't know about the grinding and sparking.
Well, doesn't it grind against the cement and
Well,
spark?
the grinding, but the sparking, not unless you do like the spark gloves.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have the spark gloves.
Oh.
But I want the spark gloves. Yeah.
Do you have to make those?
I do believe you buy. Yeah, you have to piece them together. You buy the flint, and then put them into something that'll work. I've never made them myself. The spark gloves, I've never really messed with.
I mean, it sounds like it would be fairly easy to make.
Yeah. Just running flint on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure you embed it in your glove. Maybe
Cool.
spark mittens. Yeah. That should be the new one.
Patent it.
Yeah. That'll be how I
It's the
stand out.
future.
Spark mittens.
It sounds funny, Sparkman. I'm just thinking of like cartoon mittens with sparkle. Are we trailing off?
I think so.
I feel like we need to get the energy up.
Okay, so what do we do to do this?
I don't know. Do you
Okay.
want to play a game?
Okay.
I was just kidding, actually.
Oh, okay. This isn't Saw, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got my hopes up.
What if I say a word and then you have 2 seconds to say the word that you think of next?
Okay.
Blue.
7.
Why blue 7?
That's what came to my head.
Oh, okay. Red.
Orange.
Juice.
Car.
Movie.
7. That's my go-to answer. 7.
Is 7 a good number? It's a lucky number. Yeah. Black.
Spider.
Horror.
Street lamp.
Fan.
Dog.
How about like we could just keep talking it and then all of a sudden I'll just say a word. Mask.
Clay.
I've been making stuff with polymer clay lately.
What? What have you been making?
Earrings.
I want to see. Like right now, go get them.
I'll show them to you.
Okay.
They're pretty ugly. Even my mom said so. But whatever. They're bright colors.
Thanks, Mom.
That's my mom for you. Oh, man. How's Kenzie?
She's wonderful. She comes out to the haunt with me.
Really? Aw, she's good off leash.
She's amazing off leash.
Really?
She gets really excited when other people like walk up, and so like at that point she stops listening. But for the most part, everything I tell her to do, she does. She's cool. She realizes like it's not a joke.
Yeah.
And she needs to be able to listen to me out there. I don't want her running out to the road.
Yeah.
It's a fairly busy highway.
Oh, which highway is it?
973.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's right there?
Yeah.
Is it have...
It's not like, we're not like right off the road.
Right.
So like we're far enough back that I don't really have to worry about it. But I want to make sure that that's definitely not something she thinks is okay to do.
Yeah. How old is she?
She's 6.
It's a good age.
6.5, 7, something like that. Like I got her at 6 months, so.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, you still have plenty of time with her.
Yeah, I should.
How many dogs have you had before?
So I guess technically she's my second dog that I've been able to own. Not own, but that was in my life more than just a month before all of a sudden it's just not there anymore. I don't know what happens. Parents say you go off to a farm or something, but but yeah, so it's like the second dog. Yeah. But my first dog was way back when I was younger.
Yeah. Odie was my very first dog.
Odie was awesome.
He was R.I.P. Odie. That's why I use him as a logo down here.
Oh.
So he's always by my feet.
Yeah. He's always with you.
Oh.
He's going to be always with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when I'd be ready to get another dog. It's more the responsibility that's kind of
it's a lot.
stopping. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to attach to this. You have to be ready to attach to another soul. Yeah. That's a big thing.
Right.
It's not something you just go do.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
And I was super lucky when I picked him.
Did you pick him or he picked you?
He was the very first dog that I saw at the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like chilling. I don't know if you've been to the animal center.
Which?
The one like closer to the airport.
No.
Oh, okay. The big one.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so like when you walk in, it's like the lobby, and then there are these two dog cages, but it's more of a room, like a glass room, and they usually put the animals there that are most likely to get adopted just because like they're super sweet and whatever. So he was the dog that was there, and he only got taken in maybe like 2 weeks before I adopted him.
Mm-hmm.
And they found him with his head cut open, like he had, yeah, so he was still like healing from stitches when I first saw him, so he looked super sad and just like miserable, and I went in there and I'm like, so I wanted to do to walk around other dogs just to see how he would react, and he was super chill and didn't pay them any attention, and so that's.
So he's a loner.
Yeah, like me.
Cool.
But then when he's with people, just like me, like super like affectionate and loves the attention and feel,
So he felt more at home with humans than other dogs.
Yes, absolutely.
That's my dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's all about humans. Other dogs she's weary of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Kenzie, we picked her up. I guess 2012. And so yes, maybe she's older than 6, 7. I'm not going to do the math right now. We picked her up in 2012, and we were looking at another dog, and they brought her in and told us that she had been returned. So someone picked her up and, I don't know, kept her for a month or so and then brought her back. She was very timid when we got her. She was really awesome around my mom, but she was wary of me. And she didn't like hallways, like at all. Like she wouldn't go down hallways. So I don't know what happened before that.
Poor thing.
But whenever they told me that she had been returned, I'm like, well, that's the one. That's. I mean, she obviously needs to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so that's the one we went with.
Oh.
I love her.
I love her too. She's super sweet.
Extremely sweet. But she's not a dog. She's a human and a dog.
Yeah.
Probably.
I feel that.
So.
Well, what can we expect from you other than the haunt? Oh.
Right now, the haunt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on. If I take any shoots right now, it's because somebody wanted my attention enough to pay for it.
Yeah.
But that money's going to go into the haunt. So like it's got anything I'm doing right now it's all about that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've had some shoots recently, like you tend to go with like horror movie posters, like your style.
Well, the Frankenhooker one. Are you talking about that? That was a shared excitement between me and Bethany Summer Sizzle. She loved that movie just as much as I do, and because we both put that much love into it, this really amazing thing came out of it.
Yeah.
And so like I put what I had into like my lighting and my skill with behind the camera, and she's just has this amazing presence. She always gives gold. So those photos, I'm really proud of those.
Yeah, I really like, because you also use that plastic flooring or whatever to reflect.
It's fiberglass.
Is it
fiberglass? Plexiglass.
Plexiglass, that's right. Yeah, I really like that. It's cool reflection.
It's cool, except for in editing, since there's so many scratches on it, it takes so much longer. It's worth it though for the effect, but I didn't expect it to take that much longer to edit out all that.
Yeah.
But it's all for the end product. Yeah.
I loved it. And also the vampire with the picture frame.
Oh, that was Daily South.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
And yeah, she was extremely interesting. Her whole presence is extremely interesting. And yeah, with the picture frame, I had that set up before she got there, and she just wielded it perfectly.
Mm.
Yeah, it was her idea. She jumped through
Yeah.
it. And yeah, and so like, it's always a collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only do so much
Right.
without the talent in front of my camera. I'm nothing.
Mm.
So.
Where did you get that frame from?
Hobby Lobby.
Oh,
Hobby
nice.
Lobby. Goodwill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. We still need to go on another Goodwill.
Go thrifting
trip.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, we need to actually have like somebody like record us doing that, and then we can do like a fashion show.
Yeah.
A thrift store fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then there should also be music to it, so we can make like a montage. I don't know who would be willing to do all that editing. Hint, hint. Eyebrow raise. Just kidding. I know.
Are you talking about me?
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I like editing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that though.
I know.
Yeah. What if the lottery isn't really the lottery though? What if it's a ploy for something else?
Like?
I was just thinking of like a movie where it's almost kind of like, I guess the movie The Island gave me the idea. Remember where they're like, they win the lottery and they go on to
Yeah.
yeah. But what if like we're in this weird situation where there's like the lotteries, because people like disappear after they win the lottery, right? Like it's not unexpected for someone to like just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they won the lottery, of course they're just gonna go. But what if it's just like it's announced they win the lottery, and then they go to pick up their check, but they're really getting sacrificed to some god somewhere, and like this is like some cycle that has to happen, some blood sacrifice that has to happen to keep the peace in our world or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Rick and Morty episode.
Rick and Morty needs to do that.
Yeah, they're coming out in November, dude.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love that show. Yeah, I'm so glad that show exists.
Mm-hmm. I talked about it in my last episode, actually.
Oh, so we should stop talking right now. Now we're getting redundant.
There was another. Well, I don't really watch Netflix as much anymore, but there's another animation I've been getting into called Tuca and Birdie. But it's with Ali Wong, and I like her. So.
Ali Wong.
She's a comedian.
Okay.
Yeah. But the art's cool, and the humor's pretty adult, but sometimes it kind of reminds you of Rick and Morty, but also like Bob's Burgers, or...
We're probably influencing all of each other at this point.
Right.
Which is really great.
Yeah.
We having a general consensus of the mindset is going to be a good tool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think about weird shit.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about more weird shit if you like.
Okay, throw it at me.
Okay.
Okay.
Slime.
Bubbles.
Just kidding. Acid.
A fun ride. Sometimes, depending on the mindset and the perspective. Yeah.
I've never done acid before.
It's different than mushrooms.
Mm.
Yeah. But along the same lines, you learn something from it.
Yeah.
Mushrooms is more like it shows you something, and acid is more like it becomes a magnifying glass onto what you want to look at.
Mm.
So they both have a different use. So if you're trying to like work something out within yourself and you don't know what it is that you're trying to get over, something subconscious, mushrooms will show you that.
Mm.
But if you know what it is and you're trying to get over it, then acid will help you like magnify it and like figure it out.
Isn't it hard to, I mean, from what I heard...
Or at least that's been my use of it, or my perspective on it.
Mm.
So I don't want to say that's the way it is for everybody, because Really, it's the way the mind hits it. And I didn't
Right.
mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's okay. No, I was just gonna say, isn't it like kind of hard to find pure acid nowadays?
I guess.
I don't know.
Who you know.
Yeah. I guess I'd be scared
I don't go looking for it very much,
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's hard or not.
because
It just
it's
comes
so
to me when it comes to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because it's synthetic, like I'm just afraid of what else is in there.
I mean, there's a lot to fear, but if you're going to be doing acid, you got to step out of the fear zone,
True.
because otherwise it'll take you down. That'll
Yeah.
magnify fear.
I'm also scared to jump off cliffs.
Don't do that. That'll magnify death. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what'll happen. Unless the trauma of you jumping off the cliff scares you so much that activates your DNA that's connected to reality, and then you are able to will yourself to fly. So maybe.
To heaven.
Okay.
If one believes in heaven.
Sure.
I just see like the cartoon like Tom and Jerry style where they're just like floating with the wings.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, it worked. I willed myself to fly, and everybody's like, damn it, dumbass.
Oh shit. Well,
So, would you like to hear about my mushroom trip?
yes.
So, and that's here's the topic.
Okay.
My mushroom trip. So, when I was 30, and this is what changed everything for me. This is probably why I'm no longer a computer. Well, no, I stopped
You're no longer
becoming a
a computer?
computer technician beforehand, but I kept try to get back into it afterwards until this happened, and then I was done. So whenever I was 30 years old, me and a buddy of mine, who I'm not going to name, we ended up taking 6 grams apiece of some mushrooms that a friend of mine gave me. And I wasn't expecting to have the results that ended up happening. I ended up going somewhere else completely. So he's on the same amount I am, and I'm on the same amount he is. He decides he's going to go into the bathroom and be alone. And I decide that I'm going to put in what is called binaural beats. And so I put in my headphones. And so what it does is it gives a frequency to each ear that are just off from each other. So it gives a waving effect in your head. So when you hear it, it sounds like wah, 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 wah. But that wah, wah, when you're on mushrooms, will take you out of this reality altogether. So when you just focused on that, what ended up happening is I'm laying on the couch, and I had the thought of like, holy shit, I just took 6 grams of mushrooms. And then I realized, like, I can't have that thought. I need to let that go. And so I just let go of everything. When that happened, I'm sitting there just paying attention to my breath, and this geometric spiral comes up, and it just takes me. And the me that is me that I understand that I am is now going along with this geometric spiral, where my body is now here doing something else. So what it ended up doing is taking me into this, what I consider to be a membrane of this reality and the next, and this is my interpretation of it, but what it looks like is like have you ever seen the Alex Gray paintings with the pillars that go on for infinity that have the faces on it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, anybody who's into really amazing art, look into Alex Gray and his work. But he's got these, what he would do is he'd do DMT, and he would go into these other realms in his mind, or his consciousness would be taken into other realms. And when he came back, he would paint what he saw. And it's some of the most amazing art to be witnessed, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. So, yeah, I'm basically flying through that painting. but it's like these faces are looking at me as I'm flying through it, and they're going on for infinity. And on the ceilings and the floor, there's these portals, and there's like pockets, and so it's like a geometric set of pockets, and they're all just portals. And so I ended up flying through one of these portals, and ended up being around my mother, who was bawling, crying, and then I became her. And I didn't have her thoughts, but I was able to feel the emotion of what it's like to be my mother, which gave me more of an insight into her, which is a blessing and a curse. Coming out of that, I come back through the membrane again, and I go back through another portal. I fly over this man mowing his lawn, and as I'm getting closer and closer to him, what's ended up happening is he's expanding out and getting bigger. But what's happening for me is actually I'm perceiving at a smaller and smaller rate, a more compressed rate. So I'm able to perceive his individual atoms, which then turn into him mowing his lawn for infinity. And so I fly through him. And I have no idea what this means, but that has a meaning later. So when I come back into that membrane, I then get taken back to source, or whatever you want to call it. That which is the source of everything I am now in the middle of, and I'm joined with. And everything in that moment is understood. Everything from this reality to every reality that is stemmed from every thought that is ever made, and counter thoughts, all of it is understood in this moment, except for I don't have my ego with me to reflect upon whether or not I'm understanding it. That's back here in the body, and there's nothing to tell it no. And that's another story. I'll get back into that story after I get back, come back to being a human again. So I spend, I don't know, there's no time, but long enough to become one with it again. And then as I'm separating from it, there is a ping back to my ego. So I'm actually able to realize I'm going through it, but I don't know what it is I'm going through because I've kind of been wiped. And as I'm coming back to reality, it's kind of like I'm building reality to come back to. And once the reality was built, I found myself hovering around my friend who seems really mad, and his apartment was trashed, and that's why he was mad. But I think I'm him, and I'm trying to get back into him. And at some point, I hover back into my own body, and I'm sitting on the couch, still looking at him, trying to figure out why I'm not there. I'm not in that place, why it is I'm over here. When I finally figure out that I'm me, I had an understanding of, I've got to live with this now. And I didn't know what it was that I had to live with, but something happened. Was mad because basically, while the me that is me is gone, my ego is still in the body, having ideas, and there's nothing to tell it no. So it's just going, I think about this, and I go do that. I think about this, and I go do that. And it's not, think about it, should I or shouldn't I? So what he was telling me, I was walking around his apartment going, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. And I picked up his orange juice, and I poured it on his coffee table and said, that's happening. And then I tried to go pick up his television and run around the room with it, and he had to stop me from doing that. And I was jumping on his coffee table, which was a glass coffee table, but I had enough sense to jump on the corners, which is where the braces are. And there was a point where I ran up behind him and gave him a big hug and whispered in his ear, this isn't wrong. This isn't wrong. And he's telling me all of this, and I don't remember any of it.
Whoa.
At all. I was having an experience being like my mother and doing the lawnmower man thing, which I'll get back to that here in a second. and being Source again, and having my ego wiped out. Well, okay, so that gave me something to reflect on, and I still reflect on to this day. I'm still learning from that experience. It's an infinite experience that I have woken up within me. It's the place we go where we die. It's a place where we come from before we were born, and now I have that memory. And it's like woken back up in me, and I can just kind of ping back to that and go, I know I'm not this character. I know that I am more than this, and this is just an experience that I'm having. Funny thing is, I get reunited with my father when I was 33, and his favorite thing to do in his entire life was, in his life at that point, was mow his lawn. He won awards in his neighborhood for the upkeep of his lawn. And I just realized that just hit me like a ton of bricks when I met him. No, when I met him again, I'm like, wow, I know exactly what that was showing me.
Yeah.
That I needed to reconnect with him. And yeah.
That's crazy.
So it was a life-changing event that took away the past for me, or like not necessarily took away the past, but it took away the link to what was holding me back, and it showed me that I can get over any part of myself, because the character I thought I was, I'm actually witnessing it, and I'm the thing that tells it yes and no, and it has ideas, and I can tell it yes or no on those ideas, and they can either benefit me or they can not benefit me, and I got to choose the ideas that benefit me, and to benefit everybody, not just me. Like if I'm going to grow, the people around me need to grow too. So yeah, we can change anything we want about ourselves. It's not easy, and I'm still in a process of it. It's not like it was like completely changed that minute. It was more like, I know I need to change, and I now have the catalyst for it. And so if anybody is questioning what mushrooms can do for you, I'm not saying you should ever go out and do them, but they have benefited me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That actually brought me back to the first time I tried shrooms, and I didn't know who I was either.
Yeah.
And I remember I was with my boyfriend at that time. We were in his basement, and we were just like listening to music, and I was basically like in a trance or something, and just like enjoyed being with his company and super affectionate. And then
it's all about the moment.
It hit me, and I'm like, who am I? And then I like I went on this whole rant. Like I went through my entire childhood with him, because I just didn't know who I was. I kept like, oh yeah, I was born on this day in this city, and my parents are, and I did this, and he's just looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to figure out who I am right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then once I finally like got comfortable with my identity, then I kind of like.
Funny thing is, to an outsider, that sounds really scary.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you forget who you are?
Yeah.
It's not that. You don't really forget who you are. You remember that you are. You remember what you are, and you also, it shows you that. It definitely shows you that this is just an experience, and you are consciousness. Like, and I believe that you are conscious no matter what. Like, whether you are of this consciousness of this reality, or conscious, what do we consider unconscious and dreaming? I'm conscious of my dream. I might not remember my dream, but in the dream I am conscious. That doesn't make sense. But I mean, like, there's a consciousness happening. There's feedback.
Yeah.
So like when we say he's unconscious, well, up to this reality, there's another reality that I'm conscious of. And there's always going to be a reality or a set of factors that I'm going to be conscious of. The I, not Sean. Whatever Sean is, it's a character I've been playing. But the I that I am, I'm always going to be I. I'm always going to be. That sounds really weird. Going into this weird rant. Sorry.
No, I like it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you remember your dreams most
Sometimes.
of the time? Do you dream all the time? Like every night or?
Well, we always dream. The problem is whether or not we recall them.
Yeah. I remember all my dreams every day. I
Really?
mean,
I did
like,
when I was younger.
Mm.
It wasn't until later. I'm starting to remember them now because I've been getting through a lot of trauma, and so I think because of a lot of past trauma, I haven't been wanting to remember things, and so I blocked out the things that were telling me or showing me stuff until I was ready to deal with it. And so this past few years have been a stretch of reallocating myself or refining. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's only served.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that experience with us.
Yeah. I just kind of forced it at you real quick. Hey, mushrooms.
No, it's interesting.
Like that was the thing. I'm like, well, that's the thing that's happened to me.
Yeah.
And or happened for me, happened with me, happened as me. It happened.
In you.
Yeah. Happened to me. That's the thing to talk about.
Yeah. Have you tried microdosing?
Yes. Yeah.
Like how?
That has helped me.
I wouldn't even know how much to measure.
It's you measure it out with your feeling, and you kind of gauge.
Is it like an ounce?
You,
I'm just kidding.
No. You take a minuscule amount,
Yeah.
very minuscule amount, to the
Yeah.
point where you're not feeling it at all. The next day, up it another minuscule amount, and to the point where you start to feel it. When you start to feel it, that part you back off. So just the point you just need it in your system,
Right.
And it'll help you out. Like it helps. This is gonna sound weird too, but it helps you get intrigued. Why did I use that word? Helps you get back integrated with your guidance system inside, like your emotional system. Like, I don't feel good about this situation, or I feel great about this situation. That's a guidance. If you feel good about it, and it's something that you feel in you that you should follow it. If you feel bad about it, you're going to feel it in your gut. That's something you definitely need to move away from. But yeah, it'll get you in touch with the guidance system inside, and it makes things so much easier when your gut goes, no, I don't want to go that direction. I just don't feel that. And if you listen to it, I don't always, but most of the time, getting to the point where I'm majority of the time listening to that, it gets your life way more on track than when you don't listen to that guidance system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you also got to it helps you find balance within yourself. So when you are balanced and tuned, when you fall out of tune, you don't want to be that way. It's like, well, I don't want to do that because that knocks me out of balance.
Right.
So when you find balance within yourself, that is your guidance.
Yeah.
Because when you fall off of balance, you're just like, no, I don't want to keep doing that.
Right. I find it's usually like my ego that takes me off course.
Thinking got us into every problem that we've ever encountered. Emotional feeling got us out of it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And you listen to it at some point and you move on. But if you can get to the point where you listen to it when it initially starts talking to you, it saves you so much trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also hard when you have like past traumas that you're still dealing with. It's like it's embedded in you.
Yeah, and it's not something that ignoring will get rid of.
Right.
You must actually take the time out of your day or night or existence to pay attention to the trauma, because that's really what it is. It's something that you ignored in the beginning, and it's trying to get your attention. And once you figure out the mechanism, it's actually easier than you think, but it's the resistance of it that makes it so hard. And it's really, if you think about that trauma as the child inside of you trying to figure out what's wrong. Like, why didn't we go the direction that we planned on going? Why did you stop listening to me? like because you made that decision and it makes you not want to get in touch with me anymore because of something that knocked you off balance. It'll come up in ways, and it'll come up in an emotional state, and if you ignore it and ignore it and ignore it, it's going to come up in a physical manifestation. And that's what made me physically sick. And it was me ignoring my inspiration, and me ignoring the gut feelings. So, see, I gotta come back on track with my thoughts right now. What was I just saying?
Ignoring.
Oh yeah, ignoring your inspiration, ignoring your gut feelings will lead you nowhere.
Yeah.
It does become so much easier. It's an inner guidance system that you get in touch with. And I guess we're getting back to the whole, like, we started out because we're talking about microdosing. Yeah. So microdosing helped me a lot. It actually helped me with depression. It upped my dopamine levels. It upped my serotonin levels. So that alone just helps me move through the day because you've got that happiness with you, or that level of wellness.
Right.
And it was it's something that I did and it benefited me. So I can't tell anybody to do it.
I know. Yeah.
Everybody should blah blah blah. No. If you find yourself with the experience at hand, it can help you.
Yeah. Right.
But you've got to want it to help you. And you don't abuse it. Don't take it because you think it's fun. Because it'll show you otherwise.
Yeah. And that's usually the stigma attached to it.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, drugs, getting fucked up. But
Yeah. I feel that they have been lumped in with some really hard drugs that will damage you. And I feel that information was given to the people at a time of us not really knowing any better. It's just, drugs, stay away from it. But I mean, drugs can help you realign your mind, remap your mind. There's many drugs that help you rebalance your mind. Many natural drugs that help you do that. I would shy away from the synthetic ones if you can.
Yeah.
If by all means, look into the natural first. If you have to, move on to synthetic. But there's many things that can help you, and there's many things that can't or won't. But make sure you do enough research on what you're doing. Don't just take anything. Don't just take it because somebody gave it to you. Understand what it is you're taking and why you're taking it.
Right.
Because otherwise, you're misguided in your need for it. So, yeah, it's got to be something that you're feeling.
I feel that.
Cool.
Well, should probably wrap up.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
Thank you.
How was it?
Well, I had fun. And there were times that I got self-aware, and so it might seem that the interview got awkward, and I apologize.
Well, I hate also calling it just an interview because it's not.
Yeah. So, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting watching it. So.
Yeah, it's a social experiment for me too, especially when I meet artists for the first time. So it's like I'm getting to know you and also the entire world at the same time. So it's like as your
they're
first
getting to know you.
Yeah. So it's interesting, like what we talk about that becomes your first impression upon others.
Yeah. I'm glad that this medium exists because now people can watch this and realize that there's more to a person than just what they're presenting.
Yep.
So, like, I like the fact that I get to talk about, I was in music and I do production, and it's not just photos for me. I love photos. I love them a lot. It's the thing that got me really hooked on all of this, but there's more.
Yeah.
There's always more.
Absolutely.
There's more to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that side with us.
People are gonna think I'm crazy.
No.
Some, not all of you. Some will relate. Some will think I'm crazy. It's
well,
fine.
I feel like the people that watch this though are the people that want to,
Mhm.
and like it's all artists that come on here,
Yeah.
and people we know is going to be watching this, so they're not going to be surprised.
Yeah. Well, I actually divulged some things that were personal that I usually don't divulge to people, but I feel like
Right.
I actually wanted to get this stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more to me than just photos.
Mm-hmm. We're more than just pretty face
Exactly.
and pretty hair.
Yeah, I got toes. I got 10 of them. That's a lot.
I got 9. Just kidding.
Wow. It's okay though. My grandfather on my mother's side had 9.
Oh.
He lost one, like I guess a
And-
lathe accident
Oh.
or something like that.
Lathed?
Lathe? Is that the machine?
Oh, that's a machine?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the word I heard.
It could be like a badass sport, like, oh.
Yeah, it's an old lathe injury. Yeah.
From slaying dragons.
Although, that's still like a pretty severe thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I was saying like the losing your finger to a lathe that's not a sport is still like macho, I guess.
And this is when our outro music plays.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's not lose our fingers, please. Just because it's macho.
You say nacho?
Nacho macho. You're saying I'm hungry.
I know, I'm so hungry.
you're saying
This
for-
diet sucks.
What diet is that?
Well, I just started introducing
Oh, yeah,
fish
it's,
and vegetables, but only greens. Like,
What is the what are your motives for being on this diet?
oh, because my eczema's been really bad lately.
Well, food is definitely the first place to start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And level of stress.
I know. I have been stressed lately.
So have you learned how to breathe in a way that helps you calm?
No.
I can teach you how to do that at some point. Or no, I can teach you how to do it now if you want.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be on this.
They'll just hear like wind.
Yeah.
Well, I'd appreciate that. It's probably like yoga. What do you think?
Well, I mean, so the way we breathe, we have a default way, and that delivers the oxygen to our lungs and keeps us alive and everything like that. But if we consciously breathe a specific way, especially, so they say that your DMT that is created in the pineal gland, they're saying that it is in humans, but they've already proven that it is created in rats. So it's the thing that sends us into dreamland. It's we get it when we are born, we get it when we die, and we get it every night when we go to bed. But you can consciously drip it or like microdose it into your system by how you breathe, and it helps you feel more euphoric. But that's not just it. Like you're getting more oxygen as well. But the concentration of your breath, if you are able to keep your mind on that, which is the point, you are pulling yourself back to your breath by practicing, by pulling yourself back to your breath and not letting yourself wander. Just count when you find yourself wandering in the mind, pull yourself back to your breath. Always. It's just the practice. You get really good at that, staying there. When you're concentrating on your breath, you're not triggering emotion. You're not triggering any of that trauma that your body's responding to, because your subconscious doesn't know whether you're experiencing it firsthand or you're recalling it. So if you're recalling it and your body's responding to it, you're basically responding to a past trauma that no longer exists anymore, and you can reprogram that to not happen. So through the breath, you can get beyond the ego and into the subconscious and reprogram those subconscious programs that, because honestly, if your subconscious is not lined up with your conscious mind, you're not doing it. You consciously want to do something, but the subconscious programming will not allow you to do it. That's why it's hard to stay on a diet, because you program yourself to stay in like a specific type of way of eating. It's hard to quit smoking because you've been doing it for so long. Your subconscious is like, this is a part of me. It's an action. I've made a macro out of this. It's something I don't have to think about. So to reprogram that consciously without doing the breath work, without getting beyond the ego, takes a lot longer. You really have to push. You really have to want it. But if you can meditate on it, I use that word, meditate. I guess it's a word that means something to a whole bunch of people. But if you breathe consciously, you can find yourself in a state of mind that it's easier to change those initial programs. Yeah. So it just helps.
Yeah.
And by not triggering your emotional state also helps your body find balance because you're not triggering an emotional response which then triggers your physical biorhythm change.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I need to work on my breathing then.
Yeah. Well, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just suggesting there's a practice that if you know it, it will be handy for you.
Yeah.
That's all.
I know. There's a lot of things I can change. So.
It's up to you if you want to change it. It's up to you. All I can do is say, hey, there's things to strive for.
Right.
Yeah, it's worth it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Anyway, I'm not saying you should see me as the example for everything in life. Don't do that. What works for me works for me. What works for you works for you. If the words I say help you, take them. If they don't, leave them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. We should probably close out.
Okay.
We can find you on Facebook.
Yes, that's basically my primary source.
You do bookings and stuff there too.
Yes, I do have an Instagram, but I rarely post to it. I'm just old.
Yeah.
It baffles me.
Yeah.
And I don't like cutting the borders off of I don't like cutting things off of my photos. I know there's a way to do it, but there's extra steps, and I've got so much going on, so I'll learn it at some point.
Yeah.
I need to. So I'm stupid for not learning.
No, you're not. Well, you can find him on Facebook, book a shoot, keep updated.
In November, book a shoot.
Yeah. I was going to say, if anything, just look for updates on Dead 13.
Yes, dead13.com.
You already have a domain and everything. That's right. Cool. And the commercial's not there yet, but it will be.
We have an old commercial for 2014, which will be updated once the new commercial is out.
But you filmed.
And that old commercial was shot by Travis Tank. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
So you can look him up as well. And I guess he has a Facebook. I'm pretty sure he has an Instagram. Tank Goodness Photography.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's my tradition. I usually clink.
Okay.
And,
let's do this.
You can reach us at fatalpodcastatx@gmail.com or Instagram at fatalappeal.